Well, more people in California are being urged to leave their homes as wildfires rage in Los Angeles. High winds mean the fires are showing no sign of slowing down.
This morning I packed a to-go bag. I'm actually a little late in putting that together. I have a list of things that I would grab in an emergency, and then a few heirlooms, things that are irreplaceable.
3 nights ago, it was like in a movie. Police cars are going through with the speakers and sirens and telling us you have to leave. Mandatory evacuation is right now.
But more help from the neighbours to the north is on the way. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced yesterday via social media that in addition to the Canadian aerial firefighting aircraft, there are crews en route. Over the weekend, teams from both British Columbia and Alberta were deployed. Canada's Minister for Emergency Preparedness, Harjit Sajjan, sharing photos of some of Alberta's firefighters as they cross the border into the United States. And Minister Sajjan joins us now. Minister, welcome back to the show. It's good to see you.
Great, thank you for having me.
The images coming out of this fire, the size and scale of it are almost incomprehensible. What can you tell us about the status of the Canadian teams deployed to lend their support to this effort?
First of all, I do want to just say my heart goes out to all the people who are affected. In our own country, we've been using the word unprecedented, but this fire in LA County is beyond that. And our response, the Canadian response that you have seen, is what good neighbours do. Our folks, it's been all over social media, so I don't need to be explained a lot what our water bombers are doing. The attack teams that have been sent down, additional teams from British Columbia and Alberta are currently on the way. And we have more ready to go from Quebec, another 60 personnel. It's made up of 3 teams with equipment, and even the Atlantic province also have offered up 2 teams. So those are the immediate that are ready to go. We have Canadian Armed Forces aircraft ready to take them down if needed. And what we're trying to do here is making sure that we anticipate what the actual needs are, something we have a lot of experience on, sadly, from Canada as well, and get the resources ready so when they do make the ask that there is no time delay in getting the resources down there.
Yeah, the area that's burned is larger than Paris, France. I mean, it's staggering to think of a city of that size, being wiped out, and you see the homes and things that are lost. So the number of Canadians there now, Minister, what do you think it might peak at if the offers and the requests are all answered? Hundreds of firefighters? What are we talking there? Oh,
absolutely hundreds. I mean, I'll give you an example. I mean, it all comes down to is what the needs are. The last thing you want to do is just sending resources down and it just clogs things up. So we work very well together. So when a resource is needed, it's moved in at the right time. And I've always said here in Canada is we need to anticipate, get the resource stacked, ready to go. And so when it's required, it's inputted at the right time. So right now, just to let you know, is we have the teams from Quebec and Atlantic province that I already said. Ontario has about 300 urban firefighters ready to go as well. We have our heavy urban search and rescue teams that have experience on kind of doing the damage assessment aspect of things. We have two aircraft from Ontario already put on standby, and we have additional aircraft with night vision capability from Alberta that's been offered up. So yes, our numbers can go significantly, but ultimately it will be up to the folks in California to decide when it's actually needed. But we are ready to go literally with a moment's notice.
So what's your sense of what that need might be? Because you make a good point that you don't just go there until there's a clear plan for the people to be used, and also they need somewhere to sleep, places where they can eat, because all of that's a challenge in a situation like this. But the latest update you have, Minister, because this has gone on for a while, I mean, how likely is it that these on standby assets are going to be sent to LA?
To be honest, it's my most recent update that I got this morning from our Government Operations Center is that the winds are actually going to increase there and potentially exacerbate the situation. So these teams not only could be needed, but more might actually be needed. And we do have a lot of experience. And that's one clear message I want to be able to convey is that because we have so much, sadly, so much experience dealing with fires like in Jasper with heavy winds, wall of flames, dealing with ambers that are being tossed. We have the people with the right experience, the right leadership to lead these teams, and plus our aircraft, as you know, have a lot of experience in how it can be utilized as well. So what we're sending are the right expertise for these type of situations. But we're also anticipating, yes, we have Type 1 firefighters, but more could be needed in an urban setting. We have that ready to go. plus additional aircraft in case situations take place where drones pop in the way and damage our aircraft. So we have more ready to go. So we're just anticipating those things, but sadly, from the reports that I've received, is that this is not letting up.
The governor of California, Gavin Newsom, has talked about that there's a likelihood of more deaths. When you have a disaster like this unfolding, it's more than just property, lives get lost. I know the requests and the abilities there on the firefighting side. What about on the medical side, in terms of backstopping what they might need there? Has there been discussion about that or coordination on that front between the two countries?
We're looking at all possibilities. I think when it comes to a lot of the other states have also provided additional resources. So fortunately, I think they're good there. But one of the things that we've been offering up is our expertise and our own experience from the different wildfires. Our heavy urban search and rescue teams, like here in Vancouver and also in Calgary, played a very good, important role when it comes to doing the damage assessment in a lot of the properties, and what's safe, what isn't, for people to go back to. So we're offering those ideas up, and so there's a lot of work that still needs to take place, but everything is on the table. We're ready to support. That's why we're keeping a close eye ourselves on what is taking place, so we can anticipate what the actual needs are. And plus, we have a lot of our own experience that we can kind of rely on as well.
No, it's a capacity we've sadly had to build in this country over the last number of years.
We're still evolving as well, just to say, and I just want to say thank you to the provinces. We didn't even have to make a request. All the provinces literally just offered up resources from Ontario, where I had discussions with Premier Ford, ministers across the country, have all just kind of galvanized, getting people ready to go. That's the key thing here. If they're all ready to go, if it's needed, they'll be sent. It's
all happening, Minister, at a time when the incoming U.S. administration is making a lot of noise about economic coercion to make Canada join the U.S., the comments about the 51st state. I mean, when you see Canadian planes and Canadian firefighters down there helping try to save American homes and American lives, what message do you hope Donald Trump takes from that?
Well, I think Donald Trump already kind of knows this as well. And we've seen this movie play out before. I mean, I've met President Trump in the White House a number of times myself. You can have some very productive conversations one-on-one. And then sadly on social media, other things takes place. But the reality is we have such an integrated relationship when it comes to our emergency response. And this will be another good opportunity for everybody to realize how integrated our economies actually are. And let's not forget, when it comes to our defense industries, that our defense industry in the U.S. is looked upon as a domestic in accordance with their Defense Production Act. So, you know what? It is a difficult time and of anxiety for Canadians, sadly, but something that we'll get through this. But when it comes to responding, let's put it this way: this is something that we would do normally. There was absolutely no hesitation on our part to send any resources. U.S. was there for us when we needed support, and we'll always be there for them. Albeit it's a sadly, but a perfect backdrop for anybody to realize what Canada-U.S. relationships is really about.